Welcome back to 10 Tenths Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Briot, broadcasting from the Kanga Motorsports studio. And I have Adam on Zoom, and we also have the infamous Dalton Klein. We have talked about you off and on. Iowa man.
Yeah.
He is all.
Thanks for having me, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My condolences. This will be probably be your worst day ever.
This is my time to shine. My only time I ever have a chance being famous in my life, I think.
Well, we're not famous. I'm sorry. But there are people listening. People will recognize your voice in public, and then that's weird. It's weird for me.
That's true.
It's still weird for me.
That is true.
Super weird. I enjoy it. It's always humbling and flattering, but super weird. I just never know what to say. I'm always awkward. Like, more so than normal.
I still think like when we were at Grid Life and the guy's like, "Oh, 10 Tenths Podcast shirt." I was wearing a shirt, and I'm like, "Oh, really? You listen? Here's the host, Robbie." And he just looks at him. Hi. Robbie doesn't say anything. Just the most awkward. And then just end of conversation.
Well, see you later.
It's weird. I love it, but it's weird.
We had it. I guess I had it at Heartland Park. Kevin's daughter was visiting. I honestly don't know if she was visiting to see him race or if she knew that he was parked next to me. So then she stopped and was like, "Oh, my husband and I listen to you all the time. I got to get a picture with you." I'm like, "That's so weird. I'm just some guy." But then, of course,
that's awesome.
So we're talking and just hanging out or whatever because I know her dad really well. And then take the picture, but we got our masks on. So I'm like standing there like an idiot taking a big smile for the pictures. Like they can't even see my stupid face. But anyways, humbling, flattering, super cool. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. But never know what to say ever. So hopefully I wasn't too awkward.
It's fine, Robbie.
Yeah.
People know what to expect by now.
Yeah, I would think so. If anything, they were, if someone should, if they meet me, they should be like, "Let's see how awkward we can make this. Let's see if we can see him.
That was kind of the whole purpose of the hug.
Yeah, we can't do that no more.
I know it's true. It makes.
I've still seen you get hugs.
Harder.
Shut up! I haven't given hugs.
Seen you get
No,
hugs.
I have not. Who have I
You're
hugged?
happy about it.
Who have I hugged?
I thought it was shrugs, not drugs.
Yeah, I've been given shrugs. Free shrugs,
not hugs. Free shrugs, but a couple people snuck some hugs in there.
Maybe.
Oh, those bastards.
If someone wants a hug,
I'm so bummed I didn't get to go with you guys on that event.
It was a good one. We'll get to that.
To Grid Life. So.
Oh, that too. That was also a good event.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you guys been doing a lot together this summer.
We're besties now.
Yeah, we're
probably see Dalton
besties.
more than anybody else, except your wife and coworkers.
Yep. At least. He's always there.
I'm just his biggest
like
fan. Follow him around awkwardly. I really don't like racing. I just like Robbie.
He's like
definitely not true.
He just never goes away.
Or he always comes back.
That's true.
Once a month, I just show up out of nowhere.
That's what we're
Can't get
averaging.
rid of
What's
me.
up, Robbie?
Yeah, we're definitely averaging once a month. That's the Dalton flare-up.
Jesus.
What are we doing today? Are we doing a show? Or are we just gonna? What are we doing?
We should do something, right? Let's do my opener presented by Robbie.
Oh, that's right. I'm doing an opener presented by Factory Fabrication.
Robbie's going to open it wide open.
Oh, I always open it wide open. But a few weeks back, because it's been a while since we did have a week off, and what episode was that?
I was traveling for work.
220, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had Mandy McGee last week or 2 weeks ago, and then the week before that we had Austin Covey, and that's when we talked about it. So
that's true. So what'd you buy, Robbie?
Yeah, so I bought a pick them up truck, and it's awesome. So we talked about it last time. Like I did not trust the Avalanche anymore. It was capable of towing, but not really, and the oil pressures made me very, very, very nervous because 5 is too close to 0. I don't care what the manual says.
That's so low.
And not only that, it's 5 psi when you have Rotella 540 in it. Not okay. It should never get anywhere near that. So
yeah, that's true.
I spent like, oh gosh, I don't know, like a full week just kind of like seeing what was available. And if anyone's searching for a truck right now, they know that there's not shit out there, especially in the newer truck category. Like if someone has a nice truck, they're not selling it
The availability of new trucks is terrible right now.
Yep.
I can't find nothing worth a crap.
No, because my dad has a 18 Sierra High Country. No. All-terrain. All-terrain.
I thought he had a High Country.
Is a high
All-terrain's an option on the High Country. That's like the Z71 for the, right?
I thought GMC.
Yeah, that's just like the
is GMC
extra off-road shocks or whatever, and the High Country's your trim package.
I thought High Country was Chevy, and then All-terrain was GMC.
No, GMC goes SLT, then it goes Denali, correct? I should know this.
I should know this too, but
forever.
And now my dad's going to call me and tell me that I'm a moron. I'm pretty sure
Sierra would be SLT and then Denali.
I think it's an all-terrain, but it's a GMC. But whatever, not super important right now. But anyways, the plan was to end up buying his actually, but he can't find a truck that he wants to buy. They're just not out there. So that wasn't an option. So I found a few different ones in Sioux Falls, nothing in Des Moines, absolutely nothing. Actually found one in Mitchell, and that's the one I ended up buying, Mitchell, South Dakota. So I went back
holy shit, that was quite the ride.
I didn't realize you were up in my neck of the woods and you didn't stop to say hi.
I was there for like the whole 4th of July weekend. I assumed you were in like Yankton or something, doing like river shit.
Iowa man things.
Yeah, you were drinking Busch Light in the river.
I think I partied so hard the week I didn't do anything the whole weekend.
Jeez.
I actually don't have a clue what I did 4th of July weekend. That's bad. I think I went fishing one night, so you weren't wrong, but it was at the lakes.
Oh,
and didn't catch anything.
You went the other direction. But I knew it's like I hadn't seen my parents since Christmas. I knew we were going to spend the 4th of July with them, just being at their place, doing nothing. So that's about 6 hours from Des Moines. Drove the Avalanche there, and even without a trailer, I don't know if it was just the weirdest thing because like it'd be like if I drove it to and from work or around town or for like less than 2 hours, oil pressures are pretty good. No real concerns there. But like anytime I start to drive it over 2 hours or like closer to like 3 or 4 hours, you just kind of watch the pressures just drop. Just didn't matter. It was just all of a sudden you're cruising on the interstate at 20 psi, and that's so sketchy. So I don't know but then you fire it up and it jumps to like 50 and then it sits at 40 for forever and then all of a sudden it just starts to drop. And I have no explanation. I really don't. It just concerned me and I didn't like it. So I found this 18 Silverado LTZ max trailering package. It was literally the only max trailering package pickup in like 500 miles. And I thought it was a fair price. So drove up there. Basically, it was just a matter of test driving, make sure it was fine. Seemed fine. Drove it for like a half hour, brought it back, did the paperwork, went and grabbed lunch, went to the gas station to drive back to Sioux Falls because it's another 2 hours back to go hang out with Zach LePetri. And then get to the gas station before we leave, and I literally stopped to take a picture because if you watch me on Instagram, I had a thing that said, "This will work," in my story. And I jumped back in the truck, and all of a sudden it got kind of real rough. And then all of a sudden my check engine light starts blinking at me. I was like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I just bought this. And sure enough, it's clearly misfiring. Drove it back to the dealer.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I drove it for
Only Robbie.
Yep.
Only Robbie.
Honestly, that's exactly what I said. I said that, of course, that I can't have anything nice. I just can't. So
you have by far the worst reliability with Chevy 1500s I've seen out of anyone.
That's not true. They're far worse.
1500? Well, that Escalade was not good to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were worse.
That was understanding that it had a 4L60, so you knew what you were getting into.
And you beat the living shit out of that truck. That truck did you no wrong compared to what you did to it.
You should be able to set cruise at 75 no matter what you're pulling with it.
It wasn't when you were pulling that you weren't nice to it.
See, I was fairly nice to the Avalanche.
I pulled a dump trailer with I don't know. It was all my wood shakes off my roof one time, like 3 miles to go dump them. I think my tranny was smoking after that one. That might have been what did the rebuilt tranny in. But I told the tranny rebuilder, gave him fair warning that build it as tough as you can because I plan on only pulling with this thing. So it's his fault he had to rebuild it twice. And it's my fault I don't know how to put a transmission in by myself and push the oil pump out.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so brought it back to the dealer, and he had not even finished like all the final paperwork for me. Like I just walked back in, I was like, "So, about that 6-month warranty." Yeah, we're gonna need to bring this in right now.
Oh,
brought it in. Did their quick like as I'm driving it into the service bay, I get a text message from OnStar because they gave me a free OnStar service pack or whatever, and it says you need to seek a dealership or whatever right now for service. And yep, sure enough, it was a misfire, and it was an injector. So they had to replace that, which of course they didn't have the injector, so I had to leave the vehicle with them. So I bought this 18 Silverado, and I left in a 12 Sierra.
They didn't have they didn't have an injector in stock.
No, well,
it seems like a relatively
they wanted to run a test. This is what they told me, that they wanted to run the test on all the other injectors, so that when I leave, another one doesn't just fail on me halfway between here and there in Des Moines.
But how common are direct injection? Because that's direct injection, right? The new trucks.
Yes.
Direct injection injectors.
I know that they're not. It's a known fault that the injectors will fail on these 6.2s. It happens. So I mean,
well, you found that out.
Well, I can confirm that. But yeah,
out of curiosity, how long until your OnStar was bitching at you? Because my car did not care at all.
Like 10 minutes. Because I bet it took me 10 minutes to get from the gas station back to the dealership, and then I got an email as I was pulling into the service station. So yeah, like 10 minutes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just said that I needed service, or there was some sort of fault or whatever that they knew. But yeah, I think
mine gave me an email like 3 days later saying my car is in good condition. I checked my tire pressures.
We'll get there.
You will get there for sure.
I'm holding out for that.
Yep. But it was funny because I'm talking to the guy I bought the car from, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I already sold your Avalanche to the auction. I'm going to have to give you something else to leave." And I'm thinking to myself, good. I don't want to drive it back.
I wanted to make it back to Des Moines.
Yeah. So they gave me a Sierra with a 6.2, so I was actually able to tow my dad's small skid loader and trailer back to my place. So it worked out. So I definitely wasn't going to do that with the Avalanche.
So do you have your truck then?
Yeah, it got delivered to me a week after I bought it.
Oh, so they brought it down here and took your other one.
Yep. So
the other one back.
I bought it on the Friday before 4th of July. That'd be the 3rd of July, and then came back to Des Moines with the Sierra. Drove that for the whole week. But the funny thing was, I got a call on Monday, which I'm expecting them to, we'll figure out the delivery thing. We'll go from there. Then they'll just drop it off on Tuesday. Was the plan? The phone call on Monday was, "Hey, you know how you had that misfire?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Well, we fixed that. But then we found a coil pack failed on a different cylinder." Great. 2 misfires. Fuck.
Robbie's over here researching lemon laws.
I was
like, for lemon laws anymore?
I don't know.
What's that?
Because it's over the mileage for a lemon law right now, right?
It's at 59,000 miles.
I have no idea.
Oh, you still have a factory warranty for another 1,000. You better get your money's worth out of that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's 59,000 after driving it to Heartland Park. But so yeah, they get it fixed. They had a guy deliver it from Mitchell, South Dakota to Des Moines on the Thursday. So whatever the hell day that was, and then I was able to drive it home from work on Thursday. So I've had it a couple weeks now, and it is.
I was pulling with it.
It's wonderful. It is a godsend. It is the greatest thing ever. Getting into.
You want to know what the lemon laws are in Iowa?
I am curious. Well, it's South Dakota.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's different from state to state.
We'll go with Iowa.
To qualify as lemon under the lemon law, a vehicle must be under 2 years old and have less than 24,000 miles on it and weigh less than 15,000 pounds.
Well, I wouldn't qualify for one of those.
Wow, that's crazy.
To qualify as a lemon under the lemon law, one or more of the following must also be true. The vehicle has been to the shop 3 or more times for the same problem, and the problem still exists. The vehicle has been to the shop 1 time due to a defect likely to cause serious bodily injury or death, and the problem still exists. Or the vehicle has been out of service for any number of problems for 20 or more days, and the problem still exists. These days do not need to be consecutive.
Yeah, I definitely don't qualify for that. No, I didn't.
And you start a timer.
Yeah, no, I said 1 ejector and 1 coil pack. So really not all that concerning, to be honest. But no, it's wonderful. They averaged over 21 miles to the gallon from Mitchell to Des Moines, and then I'm averaging about 20 miles a gallon without the trailer.
With a decent amount of in-town driving, too. I don't know what your work commute is, but you have a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, it's like 15 miles, and probably 5 of it's in town. Then, yeah, anything I do in town is any groceries or all that stuff's in town, like city driving. So
that's no complaints about a truck that can pull 12,000 pounds in my book.
No, I have absolutely no complaints there. And it's the guy that bought it, because it doesn't have all the stuff I would expect it to have. So I get in it, and it's like it's the LTZ, and I'm expecting to have every bell and whistle. But the guy that bought it ordered it from that dealership and basically took the checklist and just checked what he wanted and didn't check what he didn't want. So it shows,
which is max trailering, the minimum for that, and nothing else.
Yeah. So it's max trailering with the leather interior, and that's it. Like, it's got heated seats, not cooled. It doesn't have the heated steering wheel. It doesn't have any
bench seats.
What's that? It has bench seats, which I actually really like, because it's got like the little gun holder in the middle thing that you can put your gun in. I don't have a gun, but if I did, I could put it there. Or as my coworker called it,
it comes with a gun holder. Well, is that really what it is, or just
that's just what I call it? But it's got it's got a center console that flips down. That's the back of the seat, and then the bottom of the seat also is like a little cooler type
storage cubby.
So yeah, I actually like the bench seat. It's cool. But where was I going with that? But yeah, but he checked all the things he didn't want. So like, it doesn't have any sort of like sensors in the bumpers. I could back into something and have it not tell me anything's behind me. It doesn't have any lane assist stuff. Like the Denali's and some of the other higher end stuff. It has that like you're too close to the car in front of you sensor, so it like vibrates your seat. It doesn't have that. So yeah, it just has all the things I would want and none of the things I don't. So it's crew cab. It's got the 6.5 foot box. My biggest complaint about it right now is that when they replaced the tires, instead of getting 275 55s, they got 275 60s, and they fucking rub. And that annoys me.
Like at lock?
Yes. But only on the passenger side, because like when I go to lock, like let's just say I'm taking a right turn, and I go all the way to lock. It's like pulling off from my mailbox into the driveway. It touches right at the end, just in one spot on the fender liner. It's the only one. Everywhere else is totally fine. So it's just like just a skosh too tall. But of course they're brand new tires, so I had to live with it for a while.
A lift kit could fix this, Robbie.
No.
It's tall enough. It is tall enough.
No, they're too tall already.
It needs absolutely no lift. But
Agreed.
It pulls so good. It's actually like super happy to have a trailer behind it. I just got it for Heartland Park. I got on the interstate, set the cruise at 74, 75, and just left it there. And it was fine.
Yeah, that's better than I could do.
Like, I mean, it was wonderful. And then like it's got the 8-speed, so I mean it seems to like I'm not used to that because it shifts a lot more than what I'm used to. But like it doesn't go like high RPMs ever. So yeah, going up a tall hill, it shifts down, gets to where it wants to go, and just goes. It's just happy. It's got no squat whatsoever. You drive the car onto the trailer, and it just sits there. It does have pretty stiff springs, that being the trailering package though. So like driving through the city, it's just stiffer than the Avalanche.
Well, that kind of
to be expected.
Yeah, comes with the territory.
I'm not a shrewd negotiator, so I didn't get a steal of a deal on it. I got a fair price, I thought. I got a free tonneau cover, so that was cool. They installed it before I left. Well, I mean, they had plenty of time to install it because it took a fucking week. But
Luckily, they had a whole weekend.
well, they had it installed before I left, but they could have took a week. Yeah, it's wonderful. It is worth every penny, and I'm so happy.
Well, I'm glad you're happy with it at least, you know, because.
But now I'm poor. I feel broke as shit. And I have a car payment now, and I hate car payments, so there's that. But it's worth it.
Welcome to racing. You'll never have any money again,
well,
especially having 2 cars.
I knew that going in, that my financial security was never going to be a thing.
It's not guaranteed anymore.
No, that's okay.
It's fine though, Robbie. It makes for more fun things.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I will never ever understand is how you could buy a pickup this nice, new, and then wash it with the brush. Who does that on a black pickup?
Just doesn't care.
Oh man.
Obviously, you're the old owner of that truck.
Yep. So that was I guess that'd be my other complaint, is that the previous owner washed this truck with a dirty rag and a brush, so it is swirled from front to back. Luckily,
you practice your buffing skills now.
Luckily for me, Josh LePetri is a body man and has multiple buffers and spare stuff in his garage. He goes, "I'll just mail it to you." So Saturday, I'm spending all day just buffing the thing, and it's going to be perfect.
I thought we agreed you had better things to do Saturday.
That's Friday. I got furloughed. So Friday, I have better things to do. Saturday,
Perfect.
I have a buffing party for one. Yeah, and it just fits in my garage, which is nice.
Is it markedly bigger than the Avalanche?
Wider a little. I couldn't give you an exact measurement without looking it up.
But it's noticeably.
It is noticeably longer because the bed is at least a foot longer. Well, it's a foot longer than every other standard bed, and the truck itself seems to be a little bit longer. So yeah, it basically. So what I had the deep freeze in front of the Avalanche in the garage, so I'd basically drive up to the deep freeze, and then it would fit just fine. The deep freeze is no longer there, and I still have to have like a little string that shows me like where to stop. Like drive all the way to here, and then you just make it in. Still worth it. But I love it. Yeah, it's a super nice truck. I will be paying for it for forever. But it is what it is.
You can pull 2 cars to the track now that you have 2 cars, Robbie.
I'm not pulling 2 cars to the track. I don't live the 2 cars at the track life. 1 car.
Not yet. I was there.
No, you were always with the plan to do two of them. You bought a trailer that could always have 2. Even when you had the flatbed, it was still a 2-car trailer.
It was
That's
almost
true.
a 2-car trailer. And no, you'd have to knock off my tire rack and have some
You could fit
rear
2.
ends hanging off the trailer to make it work. But
I think you could have
highly considered it.
I think you could have carried like a Miata and the Corvette together.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Good thing I know no friends with Miatas I want to bring anywhere. Or he can't get a car running that he wants to race ever. One of the two.
Because he can't decide what engine to put in it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But that's not a problem now. I definitely have room for Miatas.
Do you think you could fit 4 cars in the new trailer?
Yeah.
I bet you could.
If I got rid
You
of
think
the
you could fit 3 on the bottom and 1 up on the lift?
2 Camaros on the bottom had at least 2 foot in between them, which was very generous. And behind it, there was this much room in between a full-size grill and a grill strap there, and then another about 2 foot in between it. And so that's a good 6-7 foot behind that Camaro, 2 foot in between our Camaros. And then I had my full roll-on toolbox up to the front, which was, I think that's a 6 foot tool chest.
Yeah,
and then there's like 2 foot in between that. So
Yeah,
if you had Miatas, you could probably fit 3 in there and just have a hell of a time.
Yeah, because you had the
Give me
toolbox
an
a long
entire
way.
spec Miata class.
Well, you might be able to fit 1.5 on the lift too. I mean,
That's not going to work very well, though.
no, it's only rated for 4,000 pounds.
God, that trailer on your truck is just. I can't believe that you've made it to 2 events with it.
It does great. I'm double-digit fuel mileage sometimes.
No, you did. Did you have any like weird adventures driving to Heartland Park with it? Like get caught in the middle?
No, it's not like I crossed some 10,000 pound rated bridge like I did on the way to Hallett. No, nothing that great.
It was wind. It was so windy.
The wind is actually not as bad as you would think with that. I think the gooseneck helps a lot, but
yeah, I'm sure. Probably. And the triple axle.
And the triple axle, yeah. But yeah, that.
So you hit or did you go around the toll booth? Or there's probably no good way to avoid that, is there?
So on the way down, I told myself I'm going to stay off interstates and stuff to stay away from DOT way stations for unknown reasoning. So I taken just 2 lanes there, which wasn't too bad. But I come up on some bridges, or a bridge at first, and it has 10,000 pounds only. I'm like, shit, I need to turn around. And I pull up my GPS, and it's like, there's one road to the right. I'm like, okay, slow down to look at this road. And it's like a single lane gravel road with branches overhanging that will be way lower than the top of that stacker portion. I'm like, guess hopefully there's another road. So I go to the first bridge, and just some rundown old bridge. I'm like, I can't turn around, and I'm not backing this thing up 3 miles. Because, I mean, it's about 60 foot all said and done. I can't turn around in a 2-lane road. So I just go across that one. I'm like, okay, I'm still alive. I'm like, now to go about another mile. And of course there's another bridge, 10,000 pounds only. And now I'm sandwiched between 2 bridges that aren't rated to have that. And there's no turnoffs there. Whatever. I guess just speed up and just go for it. And right over that bridge going up a hill, they're putting some culverts in, and they have to stop me because a payload or whatever's on the road, and I'm stopped on like a 10% grade. Not a big deal, but to get that weight moving, there's a guy standing right next to my truck with a stop sign that says go, and that thing just spools up to like 2,000 RPMs, just all sorts of turbo noises, and just crawls. Like 5 seconds, I could easily outwalk that thing with like half throttle, 3/4 throttle. Just took a good 10 seconds to get up to like 10 miles an hour. And that guy just had to be looking at me like, you're the reason we have to rebuild these bridges.
And he's right.
I took the toll road on the way home.
Probably the right choice.
So that's 5 axles then. How bad was that?
Not
surprisingly
great.
Not bad. Well, I guess
I'm off the list, I think, now. Like when they give you the printout, it has how many axles you have. I'm right at the end of it. So it's like, you'll find out when you get there what you're paying. You just got to be ready.
What was it? Mine was $650.
$650 for
my
no,
toll.
it was like once you're off the chart, it's like for the whole road, it's like $30 or $40 or something stupid. They don't like triple axles.
I guess that's crazy. So are you truck shopping?
Yeah, truck shopping. I'm definitely truck shopping. I don't want to blow out a tire on that thing because that'd be the worst. I don't know.
That'd be so bad.
Unloaded. I weighed it, and I think I got an accurate weight there, and it was 22,700 pounds. And then once you throw in like 12 or 16 tires in there, and 3 cars, and a tool chest, and a grill, and I tried to go over the scales one time, and it told me it was 22,000 pounds, and I just was going to tell the DOT that's what the scale said. Not my fault.
Wrong.
Act stupid. But yeah, the rear tires on that thing are not happy. So currently looking at for a 3,500 dually, but it seems like they're pretty hard to find this year. And I guess I could buy a little bit older one, but the new ones are actually rated to pull my trailer. This year, it seemed like for some reason, almost everything, Kodiaks and everything, were rated to GC VW gross combined vehicle weight was 26,000 pounds.
Ooh.
So that's what everyone got rated for, when I overdo that by a little bit. So the new Chevys and Sierras are rated for 35,000 pounds trailer weight. So I might just go for broke there.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
We talked about it when they announced that, and that's an insane amount of weight.
I don't even know what you're pulling to use that, because I'm thinking I might hit 25,000, 26,000 pound trailer weight, but it's nice to have a little bit of buffer. Who knows what my next trailer will be?
You definitely need a buffer.
Dalton.
You get a 3/4 ton diesel and you tell yourself.
Did we ever get into how you bought this trailer on the show?
I don't think so.
Can we let's dial us let's take a step back and say so you
we'll go back. So it was
this is a great
one of my
story
coworkers who came racing in Oklahoma with me, had a green Camaro that went off track, had some pretty good pictures of that. But
it happened.
He just funnily tagged me in a post for a auction that was in my hometown actually of a 41-foot on the flat gooseneck when I had 7-foot above it, so about 50 feet overall. And it was ending the next day, and it was up to $3,000. And then he's like, "You should buy this." I'm like, "I don't have anything to pull that, and I think it's going to go way more expensive." So whatever, go about my day. Didn't think twice about it. And I just, it's going to end tomorrow. I better open this up. $3,200. I'm like, I just can't let this thing go for $3,200. So I get an account set up for that auction site and everything, and I put a bid in just to do a test bid, and it worked like it was supposed to that time. So, and it ended that Friday.
The Friday of Grid Life.
Going to Hallett. So
Grid Life.
Grid Life, yeah, it was Grid Life.
Yeah,
I ended
Grid
up at your house with my other trailer. So I was on my way to Robbie's house, and we were meeting up and heading to Grid Life, and it just ended on the way there. And once again, probably not the greatest idea to talk about, auctioning on the highway while pulling a car.
Everything is allegedly.
Allegedly. I did tell myself I was going to pull over and wait the last 4 minutes of time there to bid on this thing. And I was figuring $6,000 is a steal of a deal. It had 2 80-gallon compressors on it, 5 horsepower and 7.5 horse that I actually sold for $2,000 pretty much. And off it alone. So it's like $6,000 would be max bid. That's fine. It was only up to $3,800 at the time. So I'm just allegedly driving. We'll go with allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
And I make a wrong turn on my way to Robbie's house because I'm getting a little excited about spending $6,000 on this trailer I can't pull. And so once you bid, it gives you an option. And I made this wrong turn. I had a minute left to bid. I'm like, what the hell? And I just hit a button quick just to make my bid go through. And I forced it up to $6,000 instantly instead of doing an incremental bid. So I spent $6,000 on something I probably could have spent $4,000 on.
Oh.
But I still sold those air compressors. It was $1,900. I had $4,100 in this thing. I'm still pretty happy. Tires are pretty new. Haven't blown out anything yet. Trailer brakes need a little bit of love. They're getting a little bit of air in the lines, but.
Well, he
was kind of on the fence about it, right?
Yeah,
leading
of course.
up to this, and we have a group chat with him and me and a couple of my other buddies, and we're talking back and forth about this thing, and I was like, dude, those air compressors are they're worth some money, and Dalton's like, oh, they can't be worth more than $200 or $300 a piece, right? And I was like, no, I don't think so, man. You should look it up. And next thing you know, Dalton's like, holy shit, these are compressors. And so his number went from whatever it was, and then it creeped up a little bit, and then we're going back and forth. He's like, I really don't need this. I can't tow it. Blah, blah, blah. And we're just like, but Dalton, just imagine all the things you can do with this trailer. It'll be so nice for you to have. And he's kind of slowly and next thing we know, here he is. And you were able to go back and look at the bid history even without being.
Thanks, Josh.
Even without being in the, in their system
or have an account or anything,
right? And so we're looking at it's starts at $2,500 and then goes up a couple $100 here and there, and then it's just kind of creeping up, and then all of a sudden it doubles. That was the last bid. Gee, I wonder why. It was great.
I won it,
but yeah, you won. It's yours now, and you've made 2 trips with it.
This trailer I had $4,100 into now is going to cost me a $60,000 truck. It's fine.
But interest rates
Everyone
have never
buys
been
trucks
better.
worth more than their house.
Yeah, interest rates are great right now. It's fine. That's what I keep telling myself.
Z06 in the garage, brand new Camaro. It's just in a house I spent under 50,000 on.
I like where your priorities are.
You're living that life, man.
That's the Iowa man choices.
Fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just, it's so good. Makes me so
It's
happy.
great.
I don't know why, but just think it's so funny.
It was really nice getting to hang out in there because like I got my tent and everybody else has toters and you have this massive trailer, so it's like it's super windy at Heartland, so I'm like, well, I'll just go and hang out in your trailer.
Well, even Nick, he put his awning like up against my trailer on the windy day. He's like, hopefully this is fine. It just blocks a lot of the wind. So his whole family, he brought all his kids, his wife, they're all just stuffed up like 2 foot off my trailer hanging out. I'm like, yeah, no problem, man. Actually, I should hang out there too. Josh's canopy was on the other side and we were getting the
beat up.
crap beat out of us.
Yep. And we'll get to that.
And then we just went inside the trailer.
But anyways, do you have anything else on pickups?
They need to make an in-between pickup on the lot right now. It seems like 3,500 dualies are in shortcomings everywhere.
Yeah, I saw one down by the fairgrounds in Des Moines. Oh, what day was it? 2 days ago? But I didn't stop because it was at a not new dealer lot, so I assumed it wasn't what you were looking for. But I can go back if you need me to.
No, it's fine.
I can start.
On top of that, I had to get on top of that trailer, I didn't have any way to move it. No one in my family has any way to move it. I had to call one of my coworkers because they needed it moved the next day when I'm in Michigan with Robbie. Hey, can you pull my trailer across town?
But they did it. It was fine.
Was that in Sheldon?
Yeah.
The place you bought it from was in.
Yeah, it was a grain company. It's like Decabug Grains owned it.
Do you have any idea whose it was?
It was registered to a grain company.
But they were clearly using it for racing, right?
It was dirt track racing. That thing is dusty as can be, and like all the E-track is just full of dirt and rocks. And I've already vacuumed and swept it out a couple times, and it's just a disaster.
Huh.
That's funny that it was registered as to the company. I bet that happens so much.
Constantly.
It's definitely not my Reynolds company.
That's right. On top of all this, Dalton's a slumlord.
That's about right.
You got to pay for racing somehow.
If I
man.
come get audited, I'm going to have 2x4s up top and 2x6s underneath in the stacker. Be like, why do you have a stacker for your rentals? Everyone stacks their woods differently.
Yeah.
Look how convenient this is.
The price was right. What do you want from me?
That is true. Yeah, you bought it for the price of like a regular 20-foot enclosed trailer. So
I know that's the problem. It's kind of beat up, but it fits in.
It works. You don't need the perfect, like a perfectly, shined up trailer. It's fine if it has a few dings.
Nothing vinyl can't fix.
Exactly. Like a big 10 tenths logo. Like 20 feet.
No way, dude. It's going to say Iowa Man Racing on it.
Presented by 10 Tenths Podcast. Yeah, there you go.
I need the measurements for Josh's. Next time I'm at Josh's house, I'm going to take measurements of that and make it 1 inch bigger.
No.
I was going to say, Josh's pretty proud about the fact that that's the biggest 10 tenths sticker on the planet.
Josh, now that I'm on the show, I have approval that I can have the biggest 10 Tenths Podcast sticker, so it's on.
Hey, man, we're not stopping anybody from getting.
If somebody wants to beat you,
stickers,
go for it.
Whatever trips your trigger, man.
I think you could go from the door on the side all the way to the front. That'd be pretty impressive. That's like 20 feet.
No matter what you do, you're still not going to top E-Man's tattoo. So
this doesn't have the logo. It doesn't say 10 tenths. So it's just the logo.
I know, but it's still
it's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but I think it needs to say 10 tenths.
You should do it. I'll pay for it if it says 10 tenths.
Oh no!
I've spent way more on way less.
Don't do that.
If it's terrible and I get it like at some drunk party, is that even worse?
Or better.
It's kind of par for the course, at least. So, well, let's should we wrap the opener up?
Yeah, this
a little bit here.
Opener about
I
pick
feel
'em
like
up
this
trucks.
first half hour opened it up.
Yeah, this pick 'em up truck opener presented by Factory Fabrication. They have a sweet pick 'em up. No, I guess not pickup truck. It's a lorry that they carry their BMW in. I don't have a picture of it, but it's super rad. So yeah, that's the goal for your trailer, Dalton, is to look as rad as their lorry.
Also, I bet if you have anything needed for your pickup truck, I bet they could fab it up for you.
Oh yeah, he fabbed up like bunks and all sorts of cool shit in there. So
have you seen it?
I need to see some of these bunks. I need some bunk ideas. But Josh also told me, screw it, make yourself a bed. Everyone else will sleep on the floor. There's more than enough room down there.
That's true. Yeah, don't worry about them. They'll figure their own shit out.
I need some tire racks and maybe one bunk. No, I've seen that lorry, and that thing is rad. That thing is sweet.
It's super cool.
I haven't seen it yet. I feel like I'm missing out.
You are. You definitely are. So I think they got a bunch of pictures posted on their Instagram.
Instagram?
And they are no longer.
I think it was on Instagram.
Yeah. It's no longer Z3 Zurrection. It is ZR3 Racing. Yep. ZR3 Racing. And they are selling shirts. So if you want to support our friends at ZR3 Racing, head over to their Facebook or Instagram and then get a shirt. While you're in the buying mood, head over to 1010's podcast on TrackTuned, and then you can go to our... Oh, wait, no, how do we get to our store now? Go to Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, not the group, and then click on the store, and then get a shirt.
Yes.
I am working on
Shop now.
The consortium, not the group. You won't find any groups around here.
Jeez. I am working on a new design for a logo.
Oh?
Yeah, I have an idea.
You want the aspect ratio of the side of my trailer?
That too, but it's just for a T-shirt that for myself. But I think people will buy it. I think at least one other person will buy it. So I'm gonna make it. It'll be fun.
Will this come in a long sleeve variant?
There's been long sleeve T-shirts on the store for over a year, and you still haven't bought one.
I actually looked at them last week.
We just shame our guests into buying stuff while they're on the show. Is that our new thing?
Austin Covey bought.
I looked at it 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I should buy this, but now my car has a fire suit, so I don't really need a long sleeve shirt to race anymore. So, and I think it's funnier that I bother them enough to make the long sleeve shirt and I don't get one. So,
well, you bought the pillow, so there's that.
I do have the pillow.
So we appreciate.
Forgot about the pillow.
I think they're still available
amazing.
if people want them. I can't believe people bought them, but I appreciate you buying one.
I think Josh bought one too.
Yeah, Josh's is in his RV. Mine's on my couch.
Such a great purchase. So when girls come over to your house and they see it, they're like, what the fuck is this? And you have to explain to them that, like, your idiot friends have a podcast.
Idiot friends. Yeah, it about sums it up. I've never heard of 1010's podcast. Well, neither has anyone else. No. Give it a listen. I don't think anyone's ever listened to me to listen to it.
No, it's just like it's like a cultural thing. It's a group. Like, they don't listen, but we just hang out. And it works. Anyway,
That's fine.
So we've alluded to it, but we had an adventure at Heartland Park. It was good.
Probably my worst week racing ever.
No, there's no. Okay, yeah,
that's
probably true. Probably very, very true. You,
Robbie. Should we start with you? Did you have a better weekend?
Yeah, my weekend was fine. Hold on, I'm having a hard time zooming. Sorry, fucking with pictures. No, I had a weekend, man. It was fine. I can't believe how much abuse the Toyo RRs take.
Oh yeah.
I bought those tires off that guy. They were like his throwaway tires for like.
Oh yeah, those from that.
He had like 15 or 18 tires.
Mustang Camaro Challenge car.
Yeah, so they're 275 17s, and yeah, he wanted $10 a tire, so I bought all of them, obviously. I'm thinking, they're almost to the wear bars. They're worn. They're clearly dead. But I get a weekend out of each one of them. I'm legitimately going to run the entire season on the same set. I mean,
it's a little bit of a.
They don't wear. I can't believe it.
Like a messed up season, but
true. It's only 3 weekends, but
don't forget about that Alpine grid life you're going to, Robbie.
I'm not. But I honestly cannot believe at how well the RRs wear. It's just really weird to me.
I really need to get more of these tires. I start with a 2 in my life that I can get for $10.
It's kind of an anomaly.
Are those 200 treads?
No. He's talking 200 width.
Oh.
Miata tires.
Miata tires.
I forgot that you're not on the Miata tire train.
Poor me with my 335s. Dick.
355s now.
355s.
I live that ACR life.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll get there. Don't you worry. I really don't have anything remarkable to say. I had a really awesome weekend. We had a really good turnout. We had I think 20 drivers, which would be pretty good for this season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had more than 20 drivers, didn't we?
Yeah,
almost positive.
Yeah, for sure. I was 25 because we had 12 in production D alone, then a few in E, a decent number in C, and I think a handful in B and A.
How'd you end up doing in a production D there, Robbie?
Oh, does this gold medal tell you anything? You got a gold medal.
It's like we almost set that up. That I was supposed to ask you.
Boy.
Oh, it's weird. I got this piece of gold.
I got
right
this
here.
gold medal.
Boy,
High score. Did I break it?
you're so fancy.
Did I do something wrong?
Actually, low score. Did I break it? Actually, I had a really good session Saturday morning and ended up having the fastest time of the weekend in production D.
Did you set it on the last lap?
No, it was the 8th lap. I was not last lap Lando on this one.
This is still a lot of laps.
There's a lot of laps.
I ran full practice on Friday, and then so I did like a 150. So we ran the full course with the fast turn 1 and a fast turn 8, and I'd never done a fast turn 8 before, so it's actually really fun. I enjoyed that. So I ran.
Wait.
You pulling up the map?
Fast turn 8 is a dangerous turn. 9 though.
8 into 9 is. There was a lot of issues with
come in there
club racers and time trials. Like there's a handful of people that stuffed some cars, and it's not my car, so we're not going to get into it. So, but yeah, there was a lot.
A few cars right there. That's where.
Because
Two or three of them this weekend, right?
Yeah, we were camped there, and there was quite a few that slid into the wall or had damage or a handful of issues at that turn. It's a quick turn, and I see why they don't run it all the time.
Actually, that's where my 2-off was
the
too.
NASCAR. Oh no, the NASCAR circuit's a different circuit.
No, the NASCAR is shorter because they skip 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah, they do. But they take fast turn 8.
Yes. Yeah, you don't take 5, 6, 7, so it'd be a slow 7 into a fast 8 for NASCAR, which we ran that at the Time Trials Nationals Tour last year, sort of. But yeah, so my practice went pretty good, just getting comfortable. But yeah, basically my track notes, I just wrote, "You're taking turn 1 or alpha like a coward."
Coward.
Every track note said coward, because I would lift before the crest and just coast, and then brake, and then take the turn. It's like, well, there's 3 or 4 seconds.
So fast turn 1. You're still going into turn 2 and 3, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should remember that turn 1.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Are my marks still there?
Yeah.
I didn't look.
I didn't notice them.
I was going pretty quick through there.
I also didn't do any track walks.
I brought a slower car.
A really slower car. We'll get there. But yeah, so I ran like a minute 52 in practice, just getting comfortable, and then basically was building up courage to brake later into turn 10 and over alpha and into 1. Then basically took all weekend to really get some sort of comfort there. So basically every session I cut a full second off throughout Friday or Saturday. And then Sunday morning I started the session with the 148.1 or 148.2, I think. And that was good enough for fastest of the weekend for production D. And then the last session was only 4 laps, so of course I'm not going to put a fast time in because I need 8 or 9 or 10. And then because obviously you have to build up to it. I mean, if you're dead tires, I need to really make sure that they're worn out before I start to use them.
What happened on the last session for 4 laps?
Paul's BMW caught on fire. And that was not fun.
No.
Luckily, it was nowhere near as bad as we thought it was going to be, because this is the only time I've ever been red flagged in a session. Yeah, I think an oil line blew off his turbo and basically soaked his headers. So I think it looked way worse than what it was. The emergency crews did an amazing job. I haven't talked to him yet about what happened like after the fact. So yeah, but session got flagged, then got black flagged, obviously, and then they got it, extinguished. Looked like, by the time they got it back into pits, we got loaded up. We did all our stuff before we left. His calipers, I don't know if I assume what happened was he came in to stop and then left his foot on the brakes, and then his calipers froze or his pads froze to the rotors. So he's sitting back in paddock, and we can't get his, of course, his winch breaks, so we can't get his BMW into his trailer. So we're like, oh. And the only reason it made, like, they're thinking the transmission's locked up, and I'm thinking it's so rigid, it feels like that caliper that was frozen at the end of Hallett for me, because that one wheel kept having that caliper stick, which again I replaced that before this last event, had no issues. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. So we'll take a step back. The only issue I did have was that I broke the little plastic piece that triggers the brake lights. So I ran a session with my brake lights always on, which I fixed that. It's fine. Anyways, back to the BMW. So they think it's a transmission, and then like it's in neutral. It's clearly not going anywhere. So we try to bleed the brakes, thinking that'll loosen them up, and it doesn't. So then we basically take a pry bar to the pads and basically just spread them out so that they're not stuck to the rotor, and that was all it was. And then 4 of us were able to push the car up into the enclosed trailer. Just backed it up, got a nice running start, and pushed it up in. And luckily, that heavy BMW was able to make it up and get in there. But yeah, he popped the hood, and I'm expecting to see just everything roasted. And it was like really clean, and like you couldn't even tell there was a fire. So I think what happened, like where the turbo sprayed the oil, and then it just kind of shot flames out. So it kind of like burned up some wiring, some plastic below the wheel, and then it just got some like paint stuff. So all things considered, it was not as bad as it could have been. I haven't talked to him to see if there's any like hidden weird shit that came up, but man, I thought for sure it was a done deal. But I'm hoping to see him at St. Louis. So that ended up being like quite a few, not a few, but like we stuck around to make sure that he got loaded up and on his way before we took off, because we don't leave early from sessions, Dalton.
Yep, and I left around noon that day to get home early. I
left around, I think by the time we got done with that, I bet we left at 4. Yeah, because I got home at 8. So yeah, we got out about 4 o'clock, so it's not bad. And
we usually are significantly closer to the tracks, though.
Not significantly, but yes. But yeah, so I had a really good weekend. I placed well. I was very happy with my driving. I was able to like really focus on improving things. Like I would lock up brakes, then go back and get my my next lap would be right. Like I could make adjustments. Like coming around, I think it was 12 into 13, I would find myself pushing understeering, and then I would instead like be able to adjust it with the throttle to like kick out the rears and oversteer a little bit to get where I wanted. So it was like I had a lot more car control this weekend than I think I've ever had, where I just felt more confident. So
you felt really confident. Why do you have coward on your track notes?
Because I'm not that confident. I still need to get more confident.
Yeah,
I need to be able to keep my foot on the floor, over the crest, down the straight, and then brake, and then take the turn. Also, the last
is so scary.
It's not great.
It's intimidating. Like you have
It was like one of my favorite parts of that track, but it is really intimidating because of it.
And then one thing that I noticed that I couldn't really I had a hard time believing was I'm following the guy in the GT3 RS because Dalton's gone, so I'm the number 2 car in line now behind the GT3 RS, which is...
The GT3 RS wasn't there for the second day, was he?
Yeah, he was. He was there for the last session.
I thought he was one of the ones that...
Nope.
I was lied to.
Yeah, he had no issues. He just skipped a couple sessions and then just was there for the track time.
How well did you keep up with him?
Like half a lap. I don't know. Like the pace lap. But like, so I
that thing is stupid fast.
So I'm following him, and he I don't know him that well. I know that he does like Formula Atlantics. I mean, he's a hell of a wheelman, and he's in a hell of a capable car. So I'm just kind of following him, see what he's doing. And like, obviously he takes alpha way better, takes 1 way better. And then what really caught my attention is going into turn 2, I never saw his brake lights come on. Never. So he's taken 2 just off of a lift, it feels like, which is so fast. And then he goes into 3, and I don't remember seeing his taillights come on.
3? There's
Yes.
no way he goes into 3.
No way.
I wouldn't say 2. I feel like
it was
if I had some balls,
it was short. It was a short break. It was unbelievably short.
Well, it has carbon ceramics on it. Every braking zone is a short braking zone on that car.
I couldn't believe at how little he used his brakes.
Robbie's about
And then by
ready
the
to get a car
time
with an automatic,
by the time I get to turn 7, he's so far gone. But I was just like in awe of how little he used his brakes. And I use my brakes an awful lot, apparently, by comparison. So that's
and you're still quick.
Quick.
Think how much time you're leaving on the
Factory
table.
race cars, man.
Yeah, man. If I'd be so much faster if I didn't use my brakes.
Maybe you should give that a shot.
To some extent, yeah, I guess. I don't know how long that'll hold up, but
No, I need to kind of like track him down and see what I would love to see some in-car video and see, like some data on what he's doing. I'm just blown away by how fast that car is and how much faster he is than everybody else.
Yeah, because what he end up about a second or a second and a half faster than me at the end of the day.
He was
this weekend, I think. I don't know what he ran on the second session to Saturday, but I know
I can't remember
Sunday.
I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, he was.
So what happens when you have millions of dollars and 50 years worth of
development
backing behind a race car.
Yeah, it's
he drives that thing to the racetrack too, doesn't he?
No, he's got this ridiculous camper and all this other stuff. Because he was the one that had the camper that you could drive the Porsche inside, like you could just put it in the side, like inside the side of the.
He's
the
got
RV.
one of those.
Yeah,
that's dope.
I don't think he had that here this year because you can tell that type of trailer or toy hauler vehicle, and that didn't look to be the same vehicle, but like.
That's so cool.
Last year, that's what he came to the track with. He had the RV where you pull up to the side of it, and then like there's a little platform, and then it just like brings the Porsche inside of your RV.
I'm gonna need to look into this.
It's crazy.
Getting it into an enclosed trailer with a big old wang on the back is not a good time. You hit your head on that every single time.
Yeah. Yep. But no, I'm watching him going like, I could take away so much from this. You're like his Formula Atlantic driving clearly shows through. Like he's a very capable driver, and I just want to.
Formula Atlantic, I think, is the fastest Formula car that SCCA has.
Yeah, and I think he said that he would have been driving that instead, but it wasn't ready for whatever reason, and he obviously didn't get into the details of it, but. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Dalton, how was your weekend?
So for me, I guess, starting Saturday morning, I was running a little bumpy. So we'll start with a preface of I brought a 2007 Corvette Z06 as my main track car. That's not, well, I'm going to say not too terribly much. It has a factory engine and cold air and exhaust, but it has a cage and seats and all that fun stuff. So you take the mic away, Adam.
Engine.
It's stock.
That's
What's not stock about it?
I thought that motor had been modified internally.
No,
Is that a stock cam?
Stock cam.
No.
Stock cam, stock intake. Only thing done to it is flex fuel, cold air intake, and headers.
Well, we don't have
that kind of power.
We don't have a dyno sheet to know what power he's putting down.
I'm hiding that.
We know what it made last year. It didn't change.
When I got a dyno, it was 520 to the wheels, but it does have what you're thinking about. It does have the heads done, but it's still factory milled. I didn't CNC them. I just did the reliability because LS7s eat valves. Except it seems like just cars I own do that. So that's the car I was running.
We don't know that yet.
And the other car I bought was my daily driver 2019 V6 Camaro 1LE track package. So Saturday morning I was running a little behind getting the Corvette ready. So our friend Josh Fettis was going to take that out for the practice session to get it gridded right. And, it's a warranty car. What's the worst that can happen? So I get my car done after he's done in grid. And I'm like, I'm going to go steal his Ruckus, which had an electrical problem. So I couldn't get it started. So I killed some time. And I finally like, whatever, I'm going to go take some videos of my Camaro going by. I see it go by just as I'm making it to the corner because I was going to go get a video by like 12:13. So I get there, see him go by, Like, okay, I'm ready. Get a good spot. Get my camera or my phone ready. Like, where do you go? Because the cars he was following went by, and he should have. I mean, he's a quick driver, and he should have stayed within the pack of where he was at and go by. Then kind of wait for like another 10 cars go by from where he was in the pack. I'm like, well, something isn't right. He crashed my car because what do you think when you have a 12,000 mile Camaro that's warranted for the track use? You think it's going to be okay. So whatever, I go back to the pit, and there it is running on 3 cylinders. So that's why I prefaced asking Robbie about his OnStar, because 2 days after my car was running on 3 cylinders, I get an email. Here's your July report. Your car is great, but you should check your tire pressures.
Well, did you check them?
No, I didn't.
We'll get to that.
Dropped it off at the dealership. But so
You can't even check his own tire pressure. You got to take it to the dealership.
I know. We'll get to that too.
Maybe I should listen to OnStar. Maybe I should listen to OnStar. So after that, hour later, it's my time to go out for my practice session. And I made it about as many good laps as Josh did before I was going into that fast 8 we were talking about. And I also went 2 off there because I blew a tire right around 100 miles an hour. And good thing it's those ACRs up front that are 25 sidewalls, so the sidewall's that big, so it lost a little bit of traction, but it smoked up my cab, and I thought my car was on fire again. So I go up to the corner station, and I'm like, I don't know what's happened. I unbuckled and like grabbed my fire extinguisher and like stay in the car. Like, it might be on fire. I had a lot of smoke in here. Funny part is my GoPro's on. It was the front passenger or driver's side tire, and I think the smoke came in the window and blinded me. My GoPro was over in the right hand, and you just get a little puff of smoke underneath. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a sweet video. I can't wait to share this and show people. And it's just like, I had to look over like 3 times to even get some smoke. I'm like, oh, never mind. But
it seemed dramatic at the time.
So, yeah, it was just a flat tire. And then actually, luckily, where it blew out and I came up the corner station, it was like 50 yards ahead. There was a gate. So they just opened up the gate and let me wheel out of there. So I guess that's my excitement of the weekend. But after that, besides that Porsche kicking my ass, I did pretty good in the Corvette. I was about a second and a half off him. Nothing too exciting. Just hot in a fire suit and no cool suit. Kind of had a prototype going, but that's a whole different story.
We'll talk about that in the future. Hopefully. That cool suit.
Yeah.
But
so the Camaro. Because I don't know if we really.
Then I guess on top of that, besides going over Alpha, I'm going to use this, and Robbie's going to make fun of me because he doesn't have any ABS. But
what's ABS?
I killed my ABS in my Corvette, in my wire pull adventures of stripping my wiring out of my Corvette. But I thought it was only my yaw sensor because that's what it was last time I hooked the scanner up to it. So I got a new yaw sensor and resoldered the wires, and that'll be a whole debacle on the. Yep, I use solder in my car, not crimps. We can go over this week on the consortium if you want to be into that action. It'll come up.
Oh, yeah.
So got that working, and then go out for a test drive. Shit, my ABS still isn't working. Come back, and I lost a wheel speed sensor in my back passenger because the person that put coilovers in my car this winter was being lazy and didn't disconnect both ball joints and hard pull the person, my mechanic, also known as
the dealership.
And I was trying to cheat it out of there without pulling the whole hub and the axle shaft out, and I pinched a wire. And good thing those SKF X-Tracker hubs are super cheap. So I got another one of those waiting to go in so I can have ABS and feel confident again because I need my automatic car. Even though Robbie doesn't think so, going from having ABS to no ABS is terrible.
What the hell is ABS?
He's just jealous.
Yeah,
I still don't know how to drive.
Adam didn't have ABS, and he went off at Heartland Park right after Alpha.
See?
Nah, if you knew how to drive without ABS, that would never happen.
Actually, I knew how to drive in general.
Luckily, with this new stacker, though, after I blew my tire, I had multiple sets of wheels and tires to choose from up front there. So I threw on my backup set of Rival S's, and I actually got rid of my Miata tires front 295s and got 315s on the front of it. And actually it helped a lot with braking because I think cornering with 295s with a 355 bias in the back, if you did any cornering under brake, it would just lock up the front tires. And
it's a pretty dramatic difference from front to rear.
So doing that 335 to 315, I could brake and do a little bit of trail braking. I mean, I'm not the greatest trail breaker at all by any means of that, but having a little bit helps. So that actually ended up helping a lot, made me feel a lot more confident, especially going over Alpha, since that everything after Alpha is slightly turning and braking. So, but I guess after that, warranty Camaro, is that where you wanted to lead to, Adam?
Well, so what do we? You got it back in, or Josh brought it back in.
Josh brought it back in, and then I guess
you put the scan tool on it because you got this crazy fancy scan tool, and it didn't come up with anything, did it?
Just misfires. Cylinders 1, 3, 5, the whole passenger bank. And remember, actually, 2 podcasts ago or 3 podcasts ago, he goes with his Camaro to a event, a warranty Camaro, and he brings a scan tool. Why would he ever need to do that? Good thing it's not. So we did that. And we played around.
You need the scan tool to change the brake pads too. So
yeah, supposedly you can turn them in, but since it has an electric parking brake, just if you don't have that, you have to turn it in a bunch. Because I tried turning it a little bit and it wasn't fun. And then Josh, we had on that group chat, that scan tool might bring it in. Hook up the scan tool, hit turn, and goes. Zzz, go back, and you just push it in with your fingers, and
nice.
Makes changing brakes great. Except
how ridiculous is that though, Robbie?
I also think it is ridiculous and unnecessary that you now need a decently expensive scan tool just to change your own rear brakes if you have an electronic parking brake.
Yeah, that would infuriate me.
Oh, if I didn't have that scan tool, I would have been completely infuriated and cussing and swearing and throwing stuff. But I also got that scan tool for a steal of a deal because my stepbrother's an idiot and sold it to me for under half price a month old.
Nice.
Drugs are bad, people. Except if you do drugs and sell me your tools that you finance through Snap-on for half price, drugs are great. You just keep it up. Buy more, please.
Oh, no. So anyway, the Camaro, you got one bank that doesn't run, but didn't... Go ahead.
I was just going to say...
Drives surprisingly well still.
That's shocking.
On 3 cylinders. I didn't recommend it. We drove it enough. We started it and kind of, revved it up to 2,000 RPMs or whatever, just a quick one, and, just misfiring like crazy. And every once in a while, it'd just give a little ting or something. Nothing terrible, but she was done.
Oh, no.
So you were going to say something, weren't you, Robbie?
So then you brought it back. Did you just call the dealer and say, hey, it's in the parking lot? I don't know what happened. Did you even hear this story yet? No, not all of it.
So in the group chat. So
there's quite the story.
This is great.
This.
So instead of going to Total Motors, I've never been there, the dealership in the Mars. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to park this car. If they just see a random car just in the middle here, they're going to be like, what the hell? Because I also don't know how good the parking lot is to just drive a
gigantic
40-foot gooseneck through there. And I want to drive the car as little as possible. I drove it off the track or I didn't drive it off the track. Josh drove it off the track after blowing it up in 6 laps. Which also, when we pulled the freeze frame on it, it was only 4,500 RPMs when it let go, it seems like. So
at full
I
throttle.
dropped it off the work parking lot, which is in the same town as that dealership, since there's no dealership in my small hometown that I never left, unlike you guys. But drop it off there. So I give him a call on Monday and call the dealership. I'm honestly more curious if I just tell them I was on the racetrack. Here's what I was doing. I want to see if they'll honor the warranty. I want to see if it's like no questions asked. We don't care if you beat the crap out of your 1LE Camaro. We're going to cover it. Because if they don't cover it, I might just do stupider things and get an ATSV engine thrown in there. But that's a whole different story. But call them, tell them that. And the dealership goes, yeah, just drive it down. I'm like,
well,
I mean, it's not far, but it's, probably 3/4 a mile to a mile. I'm like,
It's probably not a good idea.
it drives. I can, but it's probably in your best interest to tow it since you're the ones fixing it. It's going to be more work for you if you don't. He's like, well, that'll be $60. I'm like, okay, it's a warranty car. If you want me to blow the engine completely,
Be my guess.
I'm not spending $60. That was just more a petty thing at this point to be. But he's like, but then he says, well, if you hit your OnStar button and go through whatever Chevy roadside assistance, they'll pick you up. I'm like, well, let me grab my cord there. And they're just like, then they'll do it for free. I'm like, whatever, I'll do that then. No big deal. So I go hit my OnStar button on my car, talk to the person. Yeah, whatever. He's like, oh, so you're in Topeka. I'm like, no, it blew up in Topeka and I just pulled it here, but I just didn't want to drop it off somewhere random that I didn't know over the weekend, you know? He's like, well, okay. We'll have someone out there in a while, no big deal. And we'll text you their information. So 5 minutes go by and it says, sorry. They send a text, sorry, we can't find anyone yet. We'll keep on looking. This is like 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I give them a call back at like 3 or 4 or something. Oh, yeah, we couldn't find anyone in service, so we just quit. Like, so you're telling me if you're not in an in-network area and your Chevy breaks down the side of the road, I just call back in 20 minutes because they might just say, screw you, there's no one in network.
We tried.
So call them back, and then actually next thing they just called I'm like, whatever, it's not a big deal. I can just drive it if it's going to be this big a deal. I'm not that worried about it. I'll blow the engine. Worse. It's already,
It's already broken.
It's already broken. But they like, oh, never mind. We found this person. So they called someone. They were there in like 10 minutes and came and picked it up, dropped it off. And I talked to the dealership and pretty much said, yeah, here's what I was doing, whatever. And not a care in the world. I don't even know if they cared if it was one-only or not. If you race on the track, they seem like they just don't care. Or maybe that guy was just, didn't care. But so drop it off, tell them that. And like, oh, can I have a courtesy car? I got a Cruise I've been beating on all week, which is it's fun to beat on, but it's definitely not a Camaro. But they called a couple days later and they think it dropped a valve, which I'm not quite sold on because it did not make any noise like it ate a valve.
No, it sure didn't sound like that to me.
I think it might be something valve train related, but I don't think it ate a whole valve. That's for sure. But they said they're
jump timing or something. Maybe. Do you have any idea if that's an interference motor?
I would assume
so. It is just because it's a new motor.
Has to have pretty decent compression to make the power it's making out of that. You would think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think it almost has to be an interference motor.
So it almost seemed that's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe jump that, or Josh was kind of thinking it might have threw a rocker out and it has rockers going to one of the banks of valves, so through a lifter or something. But they said they'll pull it apart this week and let me know. So
I am interested to see what it ends up being, and if they're just like, yeah, okay, well, it's broken, but here's your new one. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, they might, if it's every 12,000 miles, they might get to know me a lot, or every 3 track days.
Yeah, I'm quite curious as to how the warranty claim stuff's going to go.
Besides the not picking me up when I call the tow truck, it's been pretty smooth and easy so far.
We haven't gotten You haven't gotten a bill or lack thereof yet, so I'm curious. Like as it plays out, I'm very curious.
I'm super curious too. But there was after searching the forums, it seems like most of them are SS1 5th gens, but people that had track problems on the track. Like there was one I think I screenshot you. The guy was 100 miles from any dealership. Chevy picked him up from the racetrack, brought him to the dealership, got a new engine put in his Camaro in 2 days, which I haven't beat that yet. I'm past that, which I'm not too worried about it, unless I had another track day going on. But didn't charge them anything.
Wow.
And didn't care. They went to the track paddock and picked him up.
I mean, that's what they claim.
That's
how it's supposed to be. So
yeah, it might be completely, flawless and works great for you, and that's awesome.
I'm hoping so. That'd get me a little more optimistic on the idea. That was the idea of the car.
Point.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole point of the car, is that I could have a reasonably priced car that's not breaking the bank like the Corvette every time you take out that. If something does break, it's not my problem. It's GM's problem.
Yeah, you're factory backed.
Yeah, I'm going to start putting that on my sponsorship. If they put a new engine in it, sponsored by GM across, I do my div stuff.
I think that's probably the right way to do it. GM Warranty Racing.
That would be really funny. So,
but I'm hoping this is just a fluke and the car comes out well and makes it the rest of the time that I have it, because it is a very capable, fun car for just being a V6. I mean, after going from the Corvette to that, though, straight lines are a little lackluster, but
they take forever.
Passing. It's just like Josh said, he was out for a while. Most of the time, I think people see Camaros in the rearview mirror when they're point by, and they, they got another 300 horsepower, me be fine. V6, so I don't think they let off. He was trying to pass a Miata, and they didn't let off on the long straight, and it took him the whole straight, and the Miata finally had to let off to get him by.
That's fine.
Josh is not used to that much power, even though. So,
yeah, and he was even picking on the power,
because that's still at least 2 or 3 times more power. Well, I guess than the Neon makes. Maybe not the Miata, but the Neon for sure.
Well, the Miata makes nothing now, so.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. So, shit, I had something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No. Yeah, that was my Heartland. And Dalton, I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think that about covers up all the excitement I had.
Was there drifting there this weekend?
Yeah, they did.
It was drifting.
The skid pad was all KC Drift on Saturday.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it was kind of fun to watch.
The picture you posted on Instagram, was that from one of the drift photographers?
Yeah, I think he listens to the show, Sean.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of funny. He's like, oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah, he direct messaged me. I don't actually have that picture up, but it's similar to the one I got up. But yeah, he was doing photography or something at the skid pad, and then he basically just turned around and took a shot of me on the road course. And he sent me a direct message and sent me the picture. And he said it was cool. That was, you could see, S14s drifting on one side, turn around and see me burning down laps behind him. So it was just
nice.
It was fun because I'd come through tech or whatever, coming off session, and then people would stop and look at me because the drifters clearly know the 240 or a 240 rather, and just like, that's a V8 240. Well, what's he doing over there?
That's strange.
Yep. So it was cool. They had a really good turnout, so it was fun to watch. We were over kind of in that area. The worst part about it was so effing windy. So you got all the smoke from the drift, and it would just all come towards our campground all day. It's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts constantly, like all through Friday night, all day Saturday, and most of Saturday night. And looking back, I probably should have stalled out my my wing because it was going basically you were going into a headwind down the front straight. And looking back, I probably should have stalled that out. But yeah, you live and learn.
Still took first place
on Sunday with this gold medal. You have a silver medal in my pickup.
Josh won the practice session before he blew up my engine. I think he had the fastest time for PC. And
if he would have just waited till qualify or the first time session.
Damn it.
Could have still won.
Did he end up with the fastest time even though it was just in qualifying and he never got to drive again?
Yep. I don't know if it was overall, but we looked at it later in the day on Saturday and how'd you end up? And he definitely was the fastest on practice. And I think he ended up closer the fastest for the time sessions too. So
that's hilarious.
I know on Sunday morning, most people were about 2 seconds faster though. I mean, it was
I dropped
it was remarkable.
Like crazy Sunday morning.
Yeah. Most people.
It was hot out Saturday though.
Saturday was hot and super windy. And then Sunday morning was like 80s
with a little bit of clouds too.
Yeah. Clouds, not a lot of wind. I mean, it was a really pleasant morning. It got hot in the afternoon though.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
it's just been gross around here lately.
And
Topeka's my cowboy travel truck.
Yeah, Topeka's the surface of running. Son of a bitch. But yeah, Topeka's the surface of the sun, so it's always hot.
Yeah.
It was
Kansas, man.
Yeah, it was a really good event though. I had a lot of fun, and that track's super nice to tires. I don't it's just a really good surface, so it doesn't wear shit down unless you go off track.
A huge difference compared to Hallett, though. Hallett is such a slow track compared to Heartland Park.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near as fast.
I think I go faster on every marginal straight at Heartland Park than I do down the main street at Hallett.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
At least.
Yeah, for sure the front straight and then going into Fast 8.
Before Fast 8 and after Fast 8, I have to go in fourth gear, and I never had to go into fourth gear at Hallett.
Oh, wow.
I'm in 3 places faster than Hallett.
Yeah, that's quick. That's a lot.
Yeah, because turn 7's pretty fast. So you probably come out of turn 7 and headed down that back straight towards 8 with a pretty good pile of steam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if you finally work up the balls, you can almost take 8 flat out. And you can almost take 6 flat out.
I don't know what you mean work up the balls. There was no problem in the neon.
You're not.
You're probably
even through slow 8. That was almost flat. It was like a lift and then turn in, and then once you hit the apex, you were back on the gas again. I don't even think I used the brake into 8.
Yeah, basically
I can't remember for sure. That was slow 8 too.
From 6 to 9, you're going basically foot to the floor.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's pretty correct. You had to get the brakes pretty hard for 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways.
Now when you do slow 8 in the neon, it's kind of a straightaway from 7 to 10. So, and then 10 to 14, that's just an autocross.
Yep.
Keep it tight. So, well, good. I'm glad you guys were able to get out there and have fun. I didn't do anything that weekend, so.
Oh, well, we missed you,
One
man.
of these days, I'll finally get to go and do something fun race car related, but I'm not sure when.
Well, you're coming to an event here soon, aren't you?
I think I might go to Alpine. I haven't decided 100%. I'm leaning towards yes. This weekend I was going to be going to Jackson, Minnesota to take my kid to a monster truck race.
Hell yeah.
But
There are monster trucks in Jackson, huh?
It got canceled.
I lived in Jackson.
It was $20.
Hell yeah, I'd go too.
So you're telling me you sent us links to Grid Life being approved and on, and you're like, nah, not going.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. I'm not sure. We've talked about maybe bringing the wife and kid and doing like a little bit of a vacation because Katie's never been to Colorado before. And we haven't decided if we're going to go that crazy yet. So we'll see. So I think I'll be there at least, probably. But
I'll be seeing you
I
there.
don't know if stuff gets worse. I might just not do that too. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I will likely not be there. I'm the event chair for the Mid-Iv TT in St. Louis the weekend before, and then I got a vacation with Jess the weekend after because that's the only week she has off because it worked out perfectly before they rescheduled, but. And then
Colorado vacation's the best vacation.
I did that last year. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to go, and I have a hard time justifying it to be a spectator, especially when they cut spectating down to 15%, and I can let somebody else go.
Music.
Yeah, I can if somebody else. I feel like they're going to fill that 15% real fast, and I don't need to be just some guy that's traveling halfway across the country just to be there. So next year,
If I go again, I'll be helping.
yeah, for sure.
Do the setup and tear down stuff like I did last year with
Yeah, you essentially be a worker.
Jabay and whatnot.
Yep.
So, but my original kind of plan was maybe I was going to try and talk you and Jess into splitting a camper on Outdoorsy. But now that you guys aren't going, I'm not going to do that. So I don't know.
Not this year.
What I'm going to do yet.
No. I'm kind of already planning ahead for next year when it comes to like racing budget and stuff. So we got the plan is to do one lap and then obviously Mid-Iv and then some other things that I got a phone call about today that potentially could be super fun. So that's a hard maybe on that. And if I can afford it, I will definitely.
We need to talk about.
No.
I'm very interested.
Not on the show
But
yet.
probably not on the show.
No, because nothing's final. It's just a gauging interest on if I was into it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm into it. So
If it's racing, Robbie's into it.
yeah, yep.
No, he's not into Grid Life at Alpine.
Not if I'm not driving.
I have room, Robbie.
Next year, maybe.
Write him down for next year on the calendar.
Yeah, just pencil me in for 2021. 2020 is my throwaway year. This is my year of planning for 2021. But
Yeah, 2020 has been a real shit show.
Yeah, it's a real kick to the dick. But I got this gold medal.
I was gonna go to Mid Ohio. That was my original plan.
That'd be awesome.
We were starting to talk about maybe making Colorado a full-blown family vacation, and so then I decided I didn't want to spend the money on Mid Ohio, and then the monster truck thing came up, and we decided we were going to go do that, and her dad was going to go with us, and then that got canceled, and so now I'm not doing anything, but I'm still not going to go to Mid-O.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, fuck. But if I don't go to Alpine, I might not go to anything this year, and that's not
good.
either.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So
You better go to something.
Definitely.
If listeners haven't figured out, I am feeling under the weather today right now anyway. So I get a COVID test tomorrow. We'll find out if I'm dying or not.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it's just it's probably not allergies, but let's hope it's something not serious.
My kid had some sort of bug earlier this week or last weekend, I guess, and I think whatever he had maybe got passed on to me. So that's what I'm hoping, but I'm acting as if I am carrying
the Rona.
The Rona. So, I didn't go to work today, and obviously won't be going to work tomorrow. So,
well, shit.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully by Monday I'll have an answer so I can go back to work.
Yeah, no kidding.
They usually come back pretty quick anymore. 2 days, 3 days tops.
Yeah. Yep.
Depending where you go.
A family member of mine got a positive test as well, which I was not around her, so I still haven't figured out where I got it. I admittedly don't wear my mask the most when I'm at work because I'm outside and it's 1,000,000 degrees out, and
you're not around a shit ton of people.
And I'm not super close to people, but at the same time, I kind of am sometimes. But I don't know. But I wear a mask when I'm at home, when I'm shopping or whatever, and try to wash my hands and as much as possible. And we've got hand sanitizer we take with us, and still end up with it somehow or another. So.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Is what it is.
Yeah. You want to do the news?
Let's do the news so I can go to bed.
Hell yeah. News is always...
You don't have anything to wake up for tomorrow.
You still tired?
I'm sick, dude. I'm tired.
Get him some sleep.
That's stuff like 15 hours today.
Jeez. I got to work a night shift tomorrow, and I'm not happy about it.
The news, as always, is presented by Apex Pro, apextrackcoach.com. As always, use our code 10tenths to get a free window mount. I used mine this weekend at Heartland Park, and I improved every session because I trusted the lights. It told me I had grip, and I trusted it, and I used the grip. It was great. I haven't had a chance to really dive into the data. It's been kind of a shockingly busy week. My coworker that I've basically mentored under for the last 5 years has retired, and basically it's been a week of handing off stuff to me. So I'm kind of tired, but I'm looking forward to going through like video and data logging and all the Apex stuff here. There's probably this weekend when I'm not working on my car. So I can't stop singing Apex Pro's praises. For the price point that they're at and the data you get and the support that you get from Andrew and the team is second to none. So apextrackcoach.com. We are teaming with them because we believe in them. Anyways, here's the news.
Oh, crap. That's my part. I don't have it open. I'm the worst. Oh, no. I just
You just sat and listened to all of that.
Let's see. The first one is something about Tony Stewart starting a new race series, fixing all the things he doesn't like about NASCAR.
There you go. That's it.
I know that.
Yep. Yeah. Tony Stewart's new race series is trying to fix some of NASCAR's problems.
There we go.
That's, yeah. What's it called? Do you know what's called?
I don't have this open at all. Holy shit. I'm slacking. I'm sick, people.
All right. So the long and the short of it is Tony Stewart is starting a new series starting in, I believe it's 2021. And it is going to be a 2-hour primetime spot on Saturday nights. And it will be, if I understand it correctly, 12 drivers with 12 crew chiefs. And the crazy thing is they are random. So every week the driver would be a different crew chief, potentially. And all the cars are going to be like spec cars, the same cars. and it's going to be under the lights in the heartland of America. So I don't know if that means Iowa Speedway if it's open, or like any of these other smaller tracks. Or is it dirt? No, it's dirt and asphalt.
It says it's both dirt and asphalt, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I like the spec car thing. I don't know how I feel about the driver and crew chief changing.
It's a little gimmicky, game showy, if you will.
So they're going to run the same cars on dirt and asphalt.
It's just different tires. It's fine.
I'm sure there'll be different setups and different tires, but they could even be completely different cars, but everybody will have the same car.
And it's all made by the same company. And I can't remember the company's name.
So it's not going to be – it's going to be less about who can pump in the most development dollars, and it's going to be more about who is the better driver and team.
It'll be good. I think it's.
But since they're not keeping their crew chief week to week, it's not. It's going to be way more focused on driver and less on team, which I guess is kind of nice. But at the same time, I don't know. As a driver, I would be kind of annoyed by that, I guess.
Yeah, because you know, 1 week you could have a track that you love, and you're feeling really good, and then you get the one crew chief you just don't work well with.
Right.
You know, and again, it's American television, so people love drama. So I bet half of the 2-hour show is going to be just people screaming at each other in the pits. So there's that. So this is gonna be the most popular show on television.
Is that the problem they're fixing then?
That there's not enough reality television in NASCAR? Yeah, that's what they're doing. No.
They're not wrong, though.
But maybe they'll do what NASCAR shit the bed on and have underglow lights that cover the whole under the car.
I was wondering if you're going to work that in there.
Robbie's like real bad at it.
I am like this. I posted on the group, like I was legit interested in it. It's like, oh, this could work. This would be fun.
And Robbie's going to show them how to do underglow lights correctly now.
I am.
Yeah, Robbie's the proud owner of quite the mix I ordered underglow components.
Yeah, we got two sets. I have
some on the way now.
Yep, you got some.
Dusty might have some on the way. We don't know yet.
He ordered.
I may end up with some on the way here yet. We'll see.
Yep. So Dusty ordered his like a week ago, or over a week ago.
It's been longer than that. It's been like a week and a half.
And I ordered mine Monday, and they showed up today. And we ordered from the same person. So mine went from California to Iowa in like 3 days, and then his couldn't go from California to Dallas in like a week and a half.
They were stuck at NA,
Utah,
and then it was unavailable for a couple of days. Now it actually showed up in Texas somewhere, but
it's almost there. I think it's in Dallas. Yeah, it's just not to him.
So the deal we worked out is if Robbie beat him before Dusty got his, I have to order some for my cars, and if I get mine before Dusty does, then Adam has to see if he can get them before Dusty also.
Yeah, so I've been a hypocrite for so long. I've been saying how great underglow is, and I don't have them on my cars. So now both of my cars get them.
I was kind of disappointed. I thought I was going to be a trendsetter in the group chat today and said, I'm going to have to get some extra for my fender vents. And then Robbie sends a picture.
Oh, I already got these.
That's what these are here for. Like, son of a bitch, beat me to it.
Yep, it's the little strips. Like they're like 4 or 5. They're like 5 inches long. So basically, it's meant for under the seats in your car. So it's going to go. 2 of them are going to go in the air dam area, and then 2 are going to go in the fender vents. But of course, that's got like 9 different colors, whereas the underglow only has like 6 different colors for under the car. I know. So they don't quite. They're not perfectly matched. So I can't just like. I don't think I can just tie them in together because I have 2 separate remotes. I have 2 separate. Like they're 2 totally different controls. So we'll see.
I'm going to have to get one and look it over and see what I can do here.
But the reason we went down this rabbit hole is because NASCAR was advertising they were going to do underglow for the All-Star race, which they did, but they only did underglow under the rear bumpers. And it just like looked it looks so stupid.
I don't really understand what they were doing there.
I think what happened was, and they never addressed it because I actually watched the race. I was doing other things, but it was on television. And I live streamed or whatever. And I went back and watched the part where they talked about the underglow, and they mentioned it like, yeah, we got underglow, and then the underglow under the car represents the manufacturer. So blue is Ford or whatever, it doesn't matter. But then they on the cut screen it's the car with the underglow everywhere, and then they cut to the actual cars, and they only have it under the rear bumper. And they never explained why. And I think what happened was they advertised it. Marketing people were like, we're on board. We're going to do it. Everyone's in. And then some safety steward's like, yeah, no, you're not. And I assume somebody stepped in and said, no, we can't have lights in front of this certain point for whatever reason. And just nixed the whole thing. Whereas, they didn't get the right buy-ins before they advertised that they were doing it. So they did something because they said they were going to, but didn't do what they were planning. So yeah, it was weird. I do want to know if there's a better backstory as to why they only did the rear bumpers. But it
almost worked because that's the first time you watched NASCAR in how long? You actually added up to see Underglow on NASCAR, and they completely disappointed.
I was going to check. Well, again, I said I was going to. I wasn't going to be a hypocrite. Can't post in the group and say I'm going to do something and not do it.
So now if I say I'm going to buy a truck on the podcast, now I'm screwed.
You already said that you're buying a 3500. You've said this. For no less than 65,000.
We're trying to talk him into something more than a 3,500, but we'll see what we can get away with.
I was completely sold on the mid-size Chevys until I realized that they have 200 foot-pounds less torque and 80 horsepower left. And they're actually rated to pull a little bit less than the 3,500s also, but they do look the business.
You need just a big old toter home.
Oh, I thought you were talking that. I was talking more mid-sized truck.
Nah, bro, you need like a big old toter home.
I can't even keep a brand new car for 12,000 miles. I don't know if I can have a 150,000 mile toter home.
They're good for $1 million. You're fine.
Yeah, just get a diesel pusher. It's fine.
I'm out.
I'm interested to see how the series shapes out and what the cars look like and who's running it. But
so Ray Evernham is involved in it, which automatically means it's going to be great.
Perfect.
He lists tracks in Connecticut, Florida.
That's not the heartland.
Florida. Yeah, I know, right? The heartland of America, from Indiana to Connecticut to Florida. Motherfuckers.
That's not the heartland.
But Knoxville Raceway here in Iowa is listed as a
right.
track option.
I'll take it. We could go to that.
And he's also Evernham is also looking for road course and modified ovals to put on the schedule. So
cool.
He doesn't expect speeds to exceed 150.
Just barely putting around there.
Yeah, Miata speeds. What's that all about?
I think that's fine. Like
that might be Ferris's approach on speeds too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
150 miles an hour. What is that? What a Miata does down the main straight?
Well, it's a short course. I mean, it's not like they're running these.
Yeah, it's half-mile ovals.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a fast course.
So he says they're targeting drivers who are retiring from NASCAR but still want to race, but just don't feel like they should run 200. His dream list includes Scott Dixon of IndyCar fame, of course, Tony Kanaan, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Juan Pablo Montoya, Paul Tracy, short track racers, and up-and-comers who have proven their skill but can't get a break.
That'd be cool. Get a lot of name recognition there. That'd help.
Yeah, that would be neat.
And doing it on a Saturday night, that's gonna every bar in America is gonna have it on.
I think doing the mixed surfaces thing is cool. Like where they'll do dirt one week and pavement the next type of deal. I think that's cool. That for some reason that just kind of
it shakes it up a bit.
Interesting too, and a neat take on it for sure.
Yeah. So, dirt tends to be a lot more fun to watch.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I mean, whatever
racing sideways,
participating in it is one thing, but it's certainly more exciting to watch. So,
no, I'm in.
I don't know.
I'll check it out.
I think it'll be cool.
I wish them the best.
Next up, more racing news.
Hell yeah!
It seems that nobody wants Sebastian Vettel.
This is like the rudest article ever written about Sebastian Vettel.
It kind of is.
It's like it's titled "Nobody Wants Sebastian Vettel."
Right
on Jalopnik.
That's flat out what it's titled.
It's very much not the case. I think
it's more that
you had 10 teams or 9 teams that never expected to have an opportunity, and they committed to the drivers that they thought were the future, and then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, Vettel's available. Well, that wasn't in the plan. Not in the
Do
budget.
you think some of those? I was going to say some of those
Probably the
teams.
budget.
It's not that they don't want them; it's that they can't afford them.
Yeah.
Probably costs more than their car.
Although, if I was
Doubtful.
Sebastian Vettel, I guess
I mean,
I would be willing to take a pay cut just to keep racing.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm curious as to what his contract, what he expects to be paid. I mean, like let's say there's only a handful of opportunities left. So like they've been talking about him going to Racing Point, which means they would kick out Sergio Perez because they're obviously not going to kick out the owner's son. Or going, I mean, I don't think it's been brought up, but like the only other team really that has drivers available or like seats available would be Haas. I mean, and even Haas has been talking about not being around next year. So, are they going to be willing to spend, let's just say, $20 million a year on Sebastian Vettel? I mean, I don't think they're gonna.
it's a lot of money.
It's a shitload of money.
A lot of money.
I mean, he's a proven driver, but he's clearly on I get. But then again, I don't know what Renault paid him, but Renault brought back Fernando Alonso, who hasn't won a race in 4 years, or podiumed in 4 years, or was it even longer than that?
Yeah.
So it's a really, really weird, silly season for driver rotations, because you wouldn't expect Sebastian Vettel to be sitting open without a seat right now. Adam is sick.
Sorry,
And
I know
No,
follow
you're
Formula One
like
worth
the
of crap.
worst. So, the thing I was kind of wondering, like, so let's pretend for a minute that he really doesn't end up with a seat in F1. Does he fade away into nothingness, or does he go somewhere else? Because, like, I'm sure he could do well for himself in like a Le Mans or some sort of World Endurance Challenge.
Yep.
Or World Endurance Championship seat or something like that. But I don't think that they have the driver budget that he's used to at F1. But does that matter to him? Would he rather just be, is any seat better than no seat?
I would.
Or what do you think his
I would think
his
you wouldn't want to go
feeling
a
about it
year
is?
without racing, though.
I mean,
I
but
think you want to
at the
stay in the seat and get some seat time in a really fast car.
True, but at the same time, he might be so fucking burned out. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
you mean Michael?
he's
a good example would be
35. He made more
he's been-
money last year than what I'm going to make my whole life. Like, does
Probably
he
all
really
of us
need to
combined,
keep
like,
racing?
yes, absolutely.
Like, does he really need to keep racing, or can he just kind of
I mean,
Retire?
go out on the top? Right.
So he's been racing professionally for like what, 25 years or 20 years. It's
Yeah.
I assume you kind of get to that point where it's like, even no matter like the bullshit that goes with it's not worth it no matter what you get paid, especially when you have a bank account that's full.
Yeah. Maybe
So-
maybe this is just a good opportunity to back out and just call it a day, and maybe in a few years down the road he can maybe, find his way into some 24-hour lineups just for funsies or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go. If he stays in Formula One, I highly doubt he wants to go to a team that's going to be slower than Ferrari. I mean, he's used to winning. He's used
Ferrari's
to doing
slower
well.
than half the field this year.
Exactly, but I don't see him sticking around, honestly. But maybe he'll go to Racing Point. But I think Haas should at least throw their hat in the ring and try to do something and shake that team up, because they have done shit the last couple of years. But I'd really expect to see him just kind of say, you know what, I need a break, and then step away, and then come back and do something not Formula One related that's strictly based on the love of the game.
Well, Kimi Räikkönen kind of did that for a while,
Yep.
He stepped out. He was doing his own thing. I think he did some rallying or something like that.
Yeah, he did.
Just kind of raced wherever he felt, and then like he's back in it, and like he's flat out said that I just do this for fun. Like, this is just a hobby at this point.
Yeah, I mean that was his quote. That was like the only quote he had on the Netflix Drive to Survive.
So funny.
Everyone's talking about how serious it is. This is life. And he's just like, this is like a hobby to me, man.
That's like how they closed the series too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was the last
It was like
episode.
one of the last things said in the entire series.
No, I mean,
Kimi Räikkönen. It's just a hobby.
it's like a hobby to me, man.
Hilarious.
But I mean, again, and he's been driving for Ferrari for, again, I don't know exactly how many years. I haven't been following close enough to know every step of his career. But I mean, the pressure that comes with being a Ferrari driver has to be monumental. And I can absolutely see why he would just kind of go, you know what? I am sick of being in the public eye. I am sick of being considered a loser every time I don't finish first. I mean, that's got to just weigh on a guy. So I for someone that's been in the sport as long as he has, had the success that he has, and he's not having that success anymore, I could absolutely see why he'd just be like, you know what, this is enough bullshit for one career. But I would like to see him stick around. I'd like to see him in a seat, and I'd like to see him competitive. So,
Yeah.
but I'm actually,
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not an expert on Formula One. I'm just a casual fan. So my opinion's kind of whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm like 18th in our Fantasy Grand Prix.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
Fantasy GP right now. So
I was like 6th. I can't remember where I finished after Hungary though. I'll have to go back.
yeah,
and
I'm
check.
not doing so well.
How many people actually enter that to where you're 18th?
Like 30.
5.
Yeah, you're not doing too hot.
No, I'm not doing so good. It's not been a good year for me. Let me see if I can get it pulled
He
up
was
here.
so cocky after winning or doing well that
I won the first year out, and I did all right last year, and it's not going so well this year. But dude, this year is such a wild year so far.
yeah, it's a super weird year.
Of course, it won't load.
Oh, don't worry, I got fast internet now. You'll notice that this episode I did not drop off the call. Oh, I'm in 4th place. That's awesome.
He's calling out too early. That's too early to call. You didn't drop off, Robbie.
I'm in 4th place.
We're not done yet, Robbie.
I don't care. I can end this whenever I want now. We've been on the show long enough to just end it.
Kind of mad you're in 4th.
I'm in 4th.
I'm glad you are, but at the same time,
4th
I'm
place.
kind of mad about it too.
That's awesome.
Where's Adam at?
Adam is
Oh, he's scrolling a while.
18th.
Yeah, I'm in like 18th.
18th. With 322 points, I have 408, and the current winner of Austin Covey has 504.
Yeah, it's not a good year for me.
Man, I'm doing pretty
I'm logged
good.
Out. God damn it.
I can thank my
Excuse me.
my man Lando. Last lap Lando.
I think I need to go back through and rethink my. Problem is, I got a couple of teams that were kind of high dollar that haven't done well,
Yeah, that sucks. You can't sell them now.
and they're probably worth less than what I paid for them. So I don't want to sell them.
No. Where am I at?
God damn it! Like, what is wrong with you, Ferrari? I don't even know if I have Ferrari on my list, but what is wrong with you, Ferrari?
A lot is wrong. It's almost like they got caught with an illegal engine last year.
My internet seems to not be working, so we might want to shut this down.
Yeah, your the little Wi-Fi indicator next to your name has been yellow or red for quite some time.
Yeah, we might want to shut this down before I drop out.
Yeah, we can wrap this up. It's been a full show. Dalton, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been fun.
Thanks for having me.
One of these days, we'll have to have the wild Dalton story episodes, where it's nothing to do with cars. It's just debauchery. That's the episode everybody wants.
Yeah, it probably would do better than talking about my terrible
We could go
car problems.
Go full Howard Stern, Jason Ellis.
Oh God,
That episode.
Oh God.
We could have you.
I have to ask before we leave, what do you have your camera hooked up to, Adam? Because it just creeps up the whole show.
Because it's sit
a
on my lap.
laptop.
Sit on my lap, so it's because it's my laptop. And I'm sitting in a rocking chair in my kid's room.
It's just like you just sit and watch them and just
It's when I
slowly
move
just
my
like
legs. It just does.
it just if you
whatever
watch
it
Adam,
does.
it just
It's
like over 2 minutes just
whoa.
then it
Yeah,
goes back down.
yeah. It's because I move my legs because my legs start to cramp up.
One of these days, he's going to be sitting
So-
across the table from me again. I'll put a plexiglass thing up if I have to. I don't care.
Yeah, we can plexiglass it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll have Adam Jabay come in from Chicago or whatever town he lives in, and then he'll put a plexiglass thing in, and then we'll be good.
I'm more afraid of just walking around your house in general.
You're the one that's sick, man. I'm not.
I know, right?
We're worried about you.
Robbie's wife deals with these people every damn day, and somehow I'm the one who got sick.
That's because she wears proper protection all day, every day. I know what I said. I know what I said.
He let me in his house.
He doesn't have any kids either, so I guess he's doing something right.
Yeah, there's no. The little kids bringing all their sorts of gross, sticky diseases into my house. Not happening here.
My video started to freeze. We need to shut this down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will catch you guys next week.